Good evening. I'm Reverend Patty Williams, and it's truly my joy to welcome you to Unity of Salem's Shine Our Light service, a time where we are coming together to celebrate the creative energy that we are each holding and expressing, especially during this time of physical distancing. So I'm going to start by lighting our Christ light, representing that light of God within each and every one of us. Shall we now join together in prayer? Sweet Spirit, we come together in gratitude and celebration, honoring that presence of the one power moving in and through each and every one of us, celebrating the creative energy of the universe. It is truly our joy, knowing that we are one with each other and with God, and with so much more. We give thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen.
I invite you to join me in the simple chant as we celebrate the light that we are. We shine our light, we shine so bright. We shine our light, a glorious sight. We shine our light, oh, we shine so bright. We shine our light to the world tonight. We shine our love. We shine our love, oh, we shine so bright. We shine our love, a glorious sight. We shine our love, oh, we shine so bright. We shine our love to the world tonight. We shine our joy. We shine our joy. We shine so bright. We shine our joy. Oh, a glorious sight. We shine our joy. Oh, we shine so bright. We shine our joy to the world tonight. You shine. You shine your light. Oh, you shine so bright. You shine your light. What a glorious sight. I shine. I shine my light. Oh, I shine so bright. I shine my light to the world tonight. We shine our light. Oh, we shine so bright. We shine our light, a glorious sight. Yes, we shine our light. Oh, we shine so bright. We shine our light to the world tonight. We shine. We shine. We shine.
I light this candle celebrating the staff here at Unity of Salem and the light of God that shines through each and every one of them.
I light this candle in celebration of the Christ light shining in Reverend Georgie. And next, Reverend Georgie is going to share with us her collage and her vision for our world.
Thank you, Angela. It's such a pleasure to be here today. You know, there's been an awful lot of conversation and thinking about what is our world going to look like after COVID is over. I got thinking about that, and I thought, what would I like to see our world look like? And I kind of mused that for a little while, and I like to do collages. And so I thought, well, maybe the best way for me to come to that answer within myself is to do a collage. And when I do a fairly large one, I always like to get background that flows, if possible, all the way, which is sometimes quite a little challenge. And then I just ask Spirit to show me the images that would represent that which I feel I would like to have our world look like after COVID is over. And the first image that came forth was this gentleman here at the bottom with holding the brand new baby. And that just thrilled my heart. And to me, that shows such gentleness and such vulnerability at the same time. Now, I know a number of men who are gentle men, and they have no trouble being vulnerable as well. And I know that you do too. However, we also know there is a lot of male energy in our world that seems to think they have to be macho in order to be a man's man kind of thing, and don't understand the need for that gentleness and that vulnerability. And so I began to realize that what was emerging for me was the balancing of the masculine and feminine energy in our world. For thousands of years, it has been out of balance, and now it is time for it to move back into balance again, which we can see right here with this lady pointing to a vision and the gentleman beside her. And it's like the lady is saying, do you see what I see? And oh my, he's trying so hard. He even has binoculars. So he's really trying to see what she sees, to reach that place inside of himself, which would help him to see what she sees. And then on this other side over here, we have another representative of this. And this time we have the woman who is stepping forward with the seeds to plant into the fertile consciousness, the fertile soil of the collective consciousness. And we have a gentleman who is helping her, supporting her, bringing forth the tools that she needs in order to do that. So I could see that theme beginning to emerge as I put the collage together. And that includes the toddlers as well, for I've got a little one who's probably going to make quite a little mess over there, but we've got another little one that's brought her broom along so that she can help clean up the mess. There is a wave of consciousness that is coming into this human condition in the children that are coming in now. They're old souls. They're very, very wise. They know who they are. They are willing to stand in their truth. They're willing to state their commitment and their dedication to the truth that they know that we adults have got to embrace. And we can see that in these three children up here on the top of the hill. Again, they are pointing, do you see what I see? Off into the distance, the vision that they are holding for our world. And they are linked arm in arm as well. And you can feel the power of the energy of their vision, of their commitment, of their dedication. And it is so powerful that it is drawing more children to them. It is drawing adults to them as well. And over here we see a path. For there's a path for every one of us to take in whatever our mission is here, whatever our soul is hungering to help bring forth into the world. Now we can skip down that path into the sunshine. Besides the balancing of the masculine and the feminine energy, there's a strong feeling of service in this collage as well. The washing of feet, the bringing of food or fruit, the connection between the child and the adult, which is so palpable and so beautiful and so loving and so filled with joy. So this is all emerging together, and it came together in about a week or so. And I realized that as this all comes together, the fruits of such a consciousness is going to be obvious to us. And as that happens in our outer world, this little girl expresses not just joy, but delight. Her face is just, her heart is so full, her face is just radiant with the delight that she is seeing that is happening in our world right now. I felt at a point that it was just about complete. But it seemed to me that there was one more thing I needed, and I didn't know what it was. So I let it sit for several days, and I woke up one morning and I suddenly knew exactly what it was that was missing. Last year, in the Religious Science magazine, which is a magazine I take along with the Daily Word, there was an article about a religious science minister in Dallas, Texas, who came out to her congregation about her gay relationship. And they made plans to have their wedding at the church. Her church has a mission statement of radical inclusion. Radical inclusion. And there was pictures in the article, as well as the article. I went right to that magazine, I opened it up, and I found this picture of their wedding day. And the love that those two women are shining to each other just always moves my heart every time I look at it. And I knew that they had to be at the top of the hill. So our gentleman down here with the brand new baby, it's Cornerstone. The inclusion up here, the love between those two women, that is the light on the hill. So as I completed that, and what I say to you today is join me. Look at what you do. And it doesn't have to be a collage, it could be a song, it could be a story, it could be sculpt something. Whatever it is that you like to play with. Figure out what you would like to see our world look like after COVID has come and gone. And do something physical. And then put it out where you can see it all the time. I have this on a wall in the hallway. And then every time I go to the back door to let my dog out, I look at it. I spend time with it. Because I know how powerful it is when we energize our thoughts and our words and our actions. And I want to continue to energize this so this vision can come forth into our world as well. And there is one more thing I would like to say to you today. We are aware of the power of our collective consciousness. Every day we contribute to and withdraw from the collective consciousness. At this time in our world, it is incredibly important that we are very vigilant about what we are withdrawing from the collective consciousness, because there is a lot of fear and there is a lot of negativity in the collective consciousness right now. And at the same time, we must be very careful as to what we contribute to the collective consciousness. That it be positive and peaceful and filled with love and joy and peace and radical inclusion. Thank you very much for allowing me to share my collage with you and my vision for what our world will look like.
I light this candle in celebration of the Christ light shining within Danita. And next, Danita is going to share a section from her creative writing.
During the lockdown, in addition to some major work on the farm and finishing a bathroom mosaic project, I've been writing a book. Here's a small selection I will read for you. "Let's celebrate over dinner," said Dick. "How do you like all-you-can-eat fried fish, catfish, and chicken?" "I've never had that, but I would be nervous about trying to digest that much fat. And besides, I can't eat much at a time since I got pregnant." "Okay, then let's go to an only as much as you feel like eating fried catfish and chicken place. It has a fun atmosphere, and I think you will like it." They drove out of town to Franklin. The restaurant had an outdoor feel with string lights and tables full of guests. Jenny was impressed that the fried foods did not seem oily at all, and she found her appetite getting stronger as they ate. After dinner, Dick suggested they take a walk around the place on a lighted path. Halfway around their walk, Jenny asked, "Do you think you're going to start dating again?" "I'm sure I will, but first I just need to work on loving myself." "Loving yourself?" asked Jenny. "I don't understand what you mean." "Well, I was so in love with Shiana, infatuated really, that I took on everything we did and all our likes and dislikes as my own identity. I put everything into our relationship until I don't think I even had a personal identity anymore. I don't think that's a bad thing, but now that she's gone, I need to find myself again. I want to be totally delighted with who I am before offering my romantic love to anyone else. I need to feel whole before getting into a new relationship, and that means exploring who I am for a while." Stumbling down some stone stairs, Jenny said, "I'm not sure how to love myself. I can't even imagine it. I like to think of love as just being there, all around us. But in order to sense it, you need a way to sense it. If love is everywhere, then how do we notice it? So when you love someone or something or yourself, there's a current you can feel, and that's called emotion. Sometimes beliefs or attitudes about ourselves block the current of love energy. The more we allow this current of love, the more we love ourselves. In fact, anytime we love anything or anyone, we're actually loving ourselves. After all, we are the ones experiencing it. When I say I'm loving myself, what I mean is that I am opening myself to experience love in everything. It's a feeling of joy." "Well, what about other emotions like anger, hate, sorrow, those kinds of things?" asked Jenny. "Those are all aspects of fear, which comes from blockage of awareness of love's presence. In actuality, there's only love." "Well, how would I overcome those blockages, as you call them, to experience love?" "By loving. You have to make a practice of it until the current of love carves away the blockage." "What do I do when I think unloving thoughts like anger?" "When you pay more attention to the feelings in your body, you can start to notice how those thoughts make you feel. If you don't like a feeling you get when you are angry, then perhaps it's easier to turn to loving. What is something that you unfailingly love, like your cat?" "Sure, I always love Sombra." "Well, use that to get the loving started. Then hold on to the feelings you have with Sombra while you invite whatever you had anger with. Love always wins when you put them together. Remember, love is something, and lack of love is nothing. When you put something with nothing, you get something, right?" "So how does all this relate to romantic love?" "Somehow it seems different to me." After a bit of silence, Dick said, "People get confused between love and need. In many cases, romance is really about an unspoken contract between two people that goes, you do that thing for me that I need in order to feel good, and I'll do that thing for you that you need. Some people who lack the feeling of completeness crave someone to fill that need, so they think they are in love even though it actually hurts. Have you ever known anyone like that?" "Sure, maybe when I was in high school." "Okay, That should give you a good idea of why I want to give myself love until I feel complete.
I light this candle celebrating the Christ light within Joanna Iacovino. And now Joanne has a song to share with us.
Into my life, my death is calling. It's twilight time. Onto my kids, my debts are falling. It's twilight time. How many evenings have I? Maybe just a few. It's curtains. It is my twilight time. Heaven or hell, is there an answer? At twilight time, will I be reincarnated after my twilight time? I'd love to have the answers, darling, wouldn't you? What happens just past our twilight time? Here, at the ending of the day, we plop ourselves in bed and dream away to a time where we do other things. Now only thoughts of death, the night it brings. Now I plan my obituary at twilight time. Will I choose walnut, oak, or cherry? Coffin sublime. And as I tip my hat, I bid you all adieu. So long now, it is my twilight time. So long now, it is my twilight time.
I light this candle in honor of Ed, celebrating the light that shines within him. And now Ed has a slideshow to share with us.
Hello, I'm Ed Lazzara of Unity of Salem. When I first heard about the opportunity to share of our creative talents as they relate to what's been stirring in our hearts during the past several months, I immediately thought of one of my favorite art forms since I was a young man, photography. And during the past few months, I've been taking the time to scan many of my old film photographs from slides and negatives so as to have them in a more compact, flexible, and accessible format. It's also given me the opportunity to take a wonderful stroll down memory lane and to relive some of the most joyful and awe-inspiring moments of my youth. What I'm going to show you today is a selection of photos that I took in the early 1980s when I was a young, energetic college student searching for beauty wherever I went. Come to think of it, I haven't changed that much. I'm still young at heart, I'm still energetic to a degree, and I do know that beauty is to be found everywhere. All you have to do is stop and look. The photos you will see today were all taken in the continental United States from 1980 to 1985, and they're arranged more or less geographically from east to west, because that's kind of how my journey unfolded. I started on the East Coast and ended up here in Oregon. The bamboo flute music that you will hear in the background comes to you compliments of my friend, the talented musician and sage, Dan Myers. Enjoy your trip.
So now is the time in our service when everyone can share. I invite you to just focus in on your heart and consider what is a gift in your life right now. Lots of ups and downs, lots of challenges, and what is the gift in your life? What is it that you're grateful for? I invite you to share that in the comments section. So just type that in, and I invite you to join in singing with Leslie and I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I light this candle celebrating the Christ light in Jan. And next, Jan is going to come up and share some of her creations.
Hello, in case you forgot, I'm Jan. I love to do a variety of crafts. This one over here is needlepoint. I started it last October. It has 35 squares and each one is a different stitch. We had to choose our own color palette and learn how to balance the light, mediums, and darks. This one's called Patches. Yes, I will get it framed eventually. This is the next one I did. This one is called Herringbone Happenings, and again, it's needlepoint. I was inspired to use these colors by a house near Bush's Pastures Park. I looked at it and went, oh, yeah, that's gorgeous. That's what I need. So it's a variety of lavenders, mauves, purples, and a little bit of pink. And it's called Herringbone Happenings because most of the stitches are variations of the herringbone stitch. And it was a lot of fun to do with a lot of careful counting to make sure everything lined up along the sides, and in the middle. Now I'm switching to counted cross stitch. This one I made for a Christmas gift. It's variations of everything that goes with bells. This particular designer has a gift for creating shapes using words based on, obviously, a jingle bell. It was a lot of fun, again, and I did it mostly sitting outdoors in the backyard. This one, quilt, when life hands you scraps. This again was even more fun than the jingle bells. Every one of these patterns, these blocks, are different, and one of these days I'm going to make a quilt using every one of these designs. This one I have hanging in my living room. It's mine, mine, mine. I'm not giving it away.
Go for it. Thank you.
I love pumpkins, so I always have my home with lots of pumpkins in it. This is called postage stamp pumpkins because of the little squares the size of a postage stamp. This one is mine, mine, mine. I'm not giving this one away because many things I sew I do give away. It's a lot of fun, naturally, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Here's a quilt. The fabric was given to me by a sweet friend, Joan, and I kept it for quite a while. I kept thinking, what can I do with this fabric? Looking through one of my stitch booklets, I came across this pattern and said yes, and had a lot of fun making it. Yes, this one is being given away. And the back is much fun too. This quilt I designed myself using the leftover scraps from a quilt that I made for me. It will be given away happily. I had so much fun creating different patterns over and over again. If I didn't like the pattern, I'd walk away from it, come back a little bit later. A lot of fun. We always show the backing. And that's all I have to share. Thank you very much.
I light this candle celebrating the Christ light within Joan, who is now going to share with you a story from Thailand.
Hi. Well, how COVID affected me. I was going to do an evening of stories from the Orient, and obviously we didn't get together to do that. So I wanted to share a story from Thailand. I had been in Thailand almost 2 years at the point of this story. I'd been studying Thai and was feeling pretty confident, and convinced my husband, Fred, that I could go to Malaysia from our home in Koh Samui by myself very cheaply because I could read and write Thai. And reluctantly, he said, all right, you can do this. We had to go change our visas every 3 months. And I was in line for a non-immigrant visa, which is a step up from the tourist visa. I took a local bus for about 25 cents. And it was about a 4-hour drive in the bus, beautiful landscape down into southern Thailand, into Malaysia. And I was able to have a conversation with the lady sitting next to me in Thai about the beautiful landscape. I was feeling incredibly proud of myself. Got to the stop towards the immigration office where I had to go. And they said, oh, it's about 3 miles, but take a motorcycle taxi. This was very scary to me, but I don't think I could walk 3 miles in the summer Thai heat. So I got on the back of a motorcycle, terrified. It went well. I went into the immigration office. They were very surprised to have an American woman there who could speak and write Thai. That was fun. Still proud of myself. Was not nearly as fearful on the motorcycle ride coming back. And then I had to walk across the highway to where the bus stop was. And I had checked with the bus driver, where is the bus stop? And I stood and I waited. And I waited, and it got dark, and I waited. And a car pulled up by the road where I was and said, the buses don't run anymore tonight. Panic. Okay. He said, are you going to Natan? Yes. I'll drive you there. What do I do? Okay, I'm probably going to die this night before this is over, which you might remember as a theme from my whole time in Asia. I got in the back of the car, and he heads towards the right direction. He heads north, and he pulls off onto a side road. And it's like, okay, this is where I'm being killed. He got out of the taxi, he went into a house, and he came out with a white shirt and a sandwich bag. And he said, I just needed to tell my wife I would be gone overnight. He drove me to the hotel. He made sure I got a good room and got a good rate on the room and left. I was safe. I was able to do the entire trip by myself, but truly I never told Fred that I stood on the highway for over an hour with a bus that never came. Have a great time.
I light this candle in celebration of the Christ light shining within Reverend Patty, and she's going to tell us a story.
As I've been pondering what I wanted to share with you during this event, there was a scripture story that kept coming to mind that speaks to me about what we are all going through during this pandemic and during these crazy times here on the planet. And so I invite you, as I share this monologue, to listen with eyes of metaphysics, to really look at Jesus as representing that Christ light that shines within and through each and every one of us. And the woman who is giving the monologue, let her represent humanity in its process of awakening. I only went to see this Jesus because my sister insisted, and I wanted, quite frankly, to shut her up. I had already been through every type of procedure you could imagine, and some you probably can't. I'd run out of doctors. I'd even gone to see the priest. That was a joke. He wanted to know how I could even consider questioning the will of God. Then he began to talk about suffering for our sins and the sins of our fathers. For 12 years, I have never forgotten the condemnation in his eyes. And then the first thing I noticed about this Jesus was that no one was turned away. There was no conversation about suffering being in our best interest. And the more I began to have hope. Maybe if I became close enough, he was so filled with the power of God, I could be healed. I could be healed. I had to be very careful. You see, I'd already broken the law just by being there. And so I quietly began to maneuver my way through the crowd. And I got close enough that I reached out my hand and let his tunic gently run through my fingers. And something happened. My entire body began to tingle, and I was healed. I was so shocked when Jesus called out, "Who touched me?" I didn't hear him. In fact, I was in the crowd hiding, and the more I hid, the crowd began to part. Jesus was working his way towards me, and all I could think to do was to drop at his feet. And he reached down with his hand and lifted me to my feet. I remember those eyes. They were filled with compassion. And of all the words that he spoke that day, the ones that truly touched my heart were when he said, "Your faith has made you whole." Your faith has made you whole. I can't tell you how it happened, but I was aware in that moment of his unconditional love for me. My life has never been the same since. I light this candle celebrating the Christ light within both Angela and Garth as they share a song with us.
So
What a joyous evening this has been. It's been an honor to celebrate each and every person involved in this service and to truly connect with each other and know that even during this time of physical isolation, we are one. We are the expression of the one presence and the one power, and it is truly uplifting each of us to join in this celebration. Shall we honor and bless each of these individuals as we also bless the financial gifts that come into this community via the donate button on our website, that come in through the mail, however they reach this community? We know that the financial gifts, the gifts of tithing, of time, talent, and treasure are truly a blessing, and they support the work that we are here to do as a spiritual community. Let us affirm together our offertory blessing. Divine love, flowing in, through, and as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. What an honor and a joy, and there's so much I would love to express. My heart is very full, and this is the energy that will move us forward during this time. And now let's close with the words of our prayer for protection. Angela and Leslie.